Well, good Saturday morning, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland. Hope your weekend's off to a fantastic start despite the weather, but it is Michigan. Come on. We know this. A little bit of rain in the forecast today, and by a little bit, I mean they put out a flood watch for our area. So if your records, and you are basement dwellers, you may want to pick them up just a little bit, just to be safe. We've learned from experience, both personally and through several friends of ours, that it's probably a thing to do. But you know what? The other thing is that this looks like it would be just a fantastic day for coming into the record store and digging through some new and vintage vinyl to add to those records that you have in your collection. Not a lot going on. I gotta be honest with you folks. It's just kind of a midsummer coast here. Well, early summer, because first day of summer was just a couple of days ago, but you know how that is. Got the air conditioning running. It'll be nice and cool here in the store. Not as muggy as it is outside, but yeah, it's not looking really good at the moment, rain-wise. That'll pass, but I think we got more stuff coming a little bit later on today. Let's say some good mornings to the good folks out there. Yeah, Gary from Doogie saying good morning. Ice cream to fish. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in just a second for those of you wondering what the heck Gary is talking about there. Good morning, Betty from Toledo. Thank you for being here. And happy Saturday to you, as well as Chuck saying good morning as well. Good morning up in the UP. Rainy there as well. Good morning, Mother. Hope that is going nice up there. So yeah, it's kind of a day. It's a Saturday. What do you want to do here? Oh, there's some more coming in there. See, I knew if I'd stall long enough, we'd get a couple of more good mornings coming in. Dan saying good morning. Dan picked up a Roberta Flack yesterday. Very, very fun to hear that it's you're enjoying it, and you are welcome. Thank you for coming in. And Ken on the other side of the planet saying good day. Good day to you, sir. Thanks for watching today. So there was a post a little bit earlier. I've got another cool post, by the way, coming up on our Facebook page here in a little bit. When we're done with the live, I'll post something up. Won't spoil it, but I found something very cool in a record this week, and we'll share what that is as well. Hey, Mike, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being here. So stick around on our Facebook page and check that out. Those of you who are watching on YouTube that don't do Facebook, sorry about that. It's what it is. And the Instagram thing still hasn't worked out. But again, I'll put up this post. Very, very cool find inside of a record that's not old pot seeds. So we'll get to that. But having said that, there was a post earlier this week. Our friend Scott Seeberger, let me call this up here for a second. This is on Facebook also from the Facebook page. Let's see, the Midland County past and present. So what does that have to do with us, you say? Well, very cool. Scott's a friend. I've known Scott for quite some time now. I used to work with him back in the higher ed stuff. And a little bit further down, here is his post. Interesting perspective on yesterday and today. In the 1950s, if you wanted an ice cream cone on a hot day, Midlanders could go to the City Dairy Building located here at 716 George Street. Today, that location belongs to Radio Wasteland. Yep, we are Midland's record store. Yes, Midland does have a record store. So this back in the 50s. Now, how do we know? Let me show you here. Scroll down to some of his pictures. Here is the front of our building today. This is what we look like here at 716 George Street, outside of Radio Wasteland Records. But back in the 50s, and I'm not even certain if it was into the 40s, possibly, but at least in the 50s, this is what the building looked like out front when this was the Midland City Dairy. And you can't quite make it out in there, but there is some seating. This was like a little ice cream parlor where you could go. But these are the steps leading into, obviously they've redone the facade and the facing here, but you can, you can't fail to recognize those steps are looking like they're probably close to 60, 70 years old as well and through there. But yeah, we didn't have a second story. There was other stuff happening, but quite the historical building, and very happy that Scott was able to share this on this history page here. But yeah, if you check that out, it is on that Midland History Then and Now. Yep. So one more time, let's take a look. Here's what we look like now. And the inside, of course, all that the great stuff included in there. But you don't need to see me on there. But check that out if you get a chance. Very happy to make that page and be a part of Midland history as well. One more good morning sneaking in there, Pat. good morning all to the wet campers. He's obviously out sitting outside of the camper until the rain starts. Hopefully it's staying dry where you are. Let's see here. One other thing. We'll talk about that in just a second here. I have to kind of get my bearings, as it were. I'm kind of discombobulated this morning. New releases. We don't have a lot to speak of today. We got rid of some yesterday, but we're getting kind of a little fewer in right now. So I want to reiterate once again, for those of you local, or even if you're not local, if you want to pay attention to what's coming up with some vinyl releases in the upcoming week, every Saturday afternoon, sometimes usually around 3-4 o'clock, usually I'll put up on the YouTube channel and the Facebook page a little video segment talking about the next week's coming releases. And as we kind of get into this slower time, it's very imperative that if you want something, you let me know ahead of time and we'll get that pre-ordered so we have that on the week of release. What we're finding with a lot of these indie releases, some metal releases and the like, not the big stuff where there's 10s and 20s and 50,000s being pressed and released here at a time, hundreds of thousands. But with some of these other smaller releases, we're finding that if we don't pre-order them ahead of time and then just kind of rely on, we'll see what's available when the time comes, that they're either out of stock or they're going to be on back order for a couple of months, or in some cases, they're just gone if they're a limited run. So I'm still trying to gauge, what to bring into the store on any given release day, kind of like what we do with Record Store Day, but on a weekly and much smaller scale. So if you guys pay attention to that new release show, it would be just tremendously helpful to let us know. In fact, let me call this one up here. If you're curious to see the full list, because whenever I do this, I just bring up highlights. But if you go to our homepage at RadioWastelandRecords.com, scroll down just a little bit and you'll see an upcoming release page. You can click on that for the list. I usually update this. Sometimes they don't send it to me, but most of the time we do. And if you get into this, 9 pages of very, very beautiful PDF. But this is everything that will be theoretically made available for us on any given release week. So this particular one, as we said, is for June 21st. So that was yesterday's releases. Later on this afternoon, I'll update this for the next Friday's releases, the what the heck are we? We're coming into the 30th already at that point, I think. So check that out. Let us know, because as I said, as we get further and further into the summer, it's going to behoove you to let us know what you want something, because if you wait till the week of after we've already placed our orders, sometimes it's going to be a little tricky for us to get stuff in on that release day, or even sometimes the week after, because it just, the industry is a little weird right now. If you're not if your last name isn't Swift, then you don't, it doesn't seem like you get a lot of pressing precedent to get your stuff out there in any great numbers. And so we take what we can get. That being said, we do have a few things left from this week. Let me get into those real quick. Some cool stuff. Joe Bonamassa is live at the Hollywood Bowl. This was recorded live last year. One copy of this, but this is not Joe Bonamassa live per se doing the blues. This is with an orchestra. So it's going to be a very, very different and interesting take. Double LP. I'm pretty sure this is on colored vinyl, but I don't remember what color it is, but we've got one of those in stock as of this morning. Tom Petty, if you're into some country music, this is an interesting release. Welcome to Petty Country. This is a country music celebration of the music of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Tom Petty primarily. Double LP also. This one is on green vinyl. I think I might be able to get more of these if we need to. But you've got the likes of Chris Stapleton, Luke Combs, Dolly Parton, the brothers Osborne, Winona Judd, and Lainey Wilson, Willie Nelson, along with Lucas Nelson, Margot Price, and Steve Earle are on here, Midland. Lots and lots of great, George Strait also, lots of great country artists doing the music of Tom Petty. So very cool stuff. I know some folks were waiting for that. And like I said, we've got one copy left and more on the way if you need them. Also, on the new release show, if you watched last Saturday, we talked about an Avril Lavigne series of releases. They're reissuing a great deal of her albums. They came out yesterday on black vinyl. They'll come out next Friday on colored vinyl, but they're all imports and they're all a little bit more expensive. Same with this one too. This one's on black vinyl, her greatest hits. We do have one copy of this in. Colored vinyl version of this coming next week, but it's going to be nearly like $50 almost. So you're paying for that import in the color vinyl. But if you need those, again, watch the show and let us know. A couple weeks ago, we had some Fraley's Comet. They build these as hand poured, but they're from Friday Music, so they're colored vinyl with a swirl in them. One copy of Second Sighting left in right now, and there's another Fraley's Comet that was released yesterday that didn't make it in time. We're trying to get a hold of some copies of that in the next week or two. So again, make sure you head over to our website, radiowastelandrecords.com. Look for that new release list, or just watch the show here on YouTube, and you can check that out every Saturday afternoon. Make sure that either now or afterwards, there should be a little button somewhere in there to subscribe to the YouTube channel. That really does help us out. If you're commenting and you're liking and you're sharing stuff, that helps out too from the YouTube channel. Facebook is what it is, but on the YouTube side, that stuff really does help get us out to more folks. Let's see here. One other comment coming in. Heard the George Strait version of You Wrecked Me on the radio last night. Pretty faithful to the original with a twang, of course. Yeah, good stuff there, bud man. Yeah, I think the country artists are going to do justice to a lot of petty stuff. One note. I don't mean to giggle. I'm sorry. One vintage vinyl piece from yesterday of note. If you didn't catch the vintage vinyl drop, go back and check that out. We had a lot of Beatles stuff. We had a lot of Johnny Cash stuff. Chicago was in there, and the Allman Brothers. Still a lot of great stuff left, but hidden amongst that was this copy of this. You know what this? If you know what this is, you know what this is. This is Yoko Ono and the infamous album Fly. Yeah, I gave it a test listen. It's a 180 gram reissue, so it's not one of those originals. But wow, no offense to you Yoko Ono fans out there, but just wow. and I like some weird stuff. Come on now, I like weird stuff, but even I have my limits some days. So there we go. Oh, Gary's chiming in here. A granddaughter says hi. Hello there, kiddo. Thanks for watching. All right. So check that out. Check out our final video drop from yesterday. And if you need to, stop by and see us. We are at 716 George Street. No ice cream today. Sorry. No fish, as in this was Love's Aquarium in the 70s and 80s. No, none of that. I do have fish with a PH. And there is a fish. It's a brand new Fish album coming out in the next, I think it's next week. But check that out, or maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now. But check out the new release show, and we'll have the info on that as we get going forward. So stop by and see us if you're out and about today and you want to dodge some rain showers. Oh, it is raining now. I'm looking out the window. So stop by when it stops raining, and you can come see us at 716 George Street. I'll be here until 6 p.m. today, Saturday, and tomorrow, Sunday, from 12 noon until 4 p.m. I think the dude's going to hang out tomorrow, Saturday, with me. Kim and Blue are probably going to go jumping if the weather cooperates. Kim's not going to jump. Blue will. She'll help her. But yeah, the dude will be here with me if you guys want to swing by and say hello. Other than that, I'm going to let you guys off to go and have a great Saturday and a great rest of weekend. And until then, make again sure you're subscribed to that YouTube channel, please. Check out all our other stuff. Look for the podcast with Steve Carlson. We're going to put a new episode up tomorrow evening. Sunday evening should be a good one as well. So next time, we'll talk to you down the road. You folks have a great weekend. Thanks again for being here. You folks rock.